Hi everyone, and welcome back. That's eggplant, and that is slices of eggplant. And we're going to make eggplant Parmesan stacks today. If you like eggplant, you're going to like this one. I don't cook it very often, but I really enjoyed this. So let's get to it right now. Here's the start of our show. One eggplant. Nice, and I washed the outside because we're keeping the outside. I had a friend say, oh, you got to peel it off. My sister said, if you peel it, then it'll fall apart when you cook the slices. Okay, so we'll keep it on. We get the sticker off. And I'm trying to figure out how to do this because, like I said, I don't make it very often. As a matter of fact, almost never. This is like a new project to me. So we're going to cut this into slices. Just like tomato slices, about that thick. I probably should have made them a tad thicker. It's okay. It did exactly what I needed it to do. So here's our one eggplant. If I did it again, I'd do 2 eggplants. Because by the time it's all cooked, there was enough for us, but just enough. So these slices need to go in the oven. We're going to put them out on our baking tray. And of course, once I get down to the end, well, we don't have enough room. So I pull out the second tray to get the little leftovers. Now this is just olive oil. I'm brushing on the top. And the bottom too while you're at it. And we will flip these over. So little pepper, and then into the oven we go, 325 for about 30 to 40 minutes, and you're going to have to watch them. Now that's cooking, we're going to make our sauce. I got my food processor out in the background. I got 1 big can of diced tomatoes. The recipe actually called for 20 ounces of tomato sauce and 14 ounces of crushed or finely chopped tomatoes. I only had the 1 big can, so you know what? We put her into the food processor, blend it all up. Doesn't take long. There you go. That looks like chopped up enough sauce for me. So here we are at the halfway point with our eggplant, and I'm just flipping them over. And a fork worked a lot better than the tongs. So they're going to go back in for another 15-20 minutes, and we're going to make our sauce. So into a small pot, that's couple tablespoons of olive oil, and into that I put about a cup of finely chopped onions, and of course we're going to smush them around and wait till they start getting a little edge on them, just like that. In goes 5 cloves of garlic, minced garlic, and this is about 30 seconds is all we're going to do, just enough to kind of get them nice and fragrant. And oh, onion and garlics, man, they smell good when they're cooking. So in goes our can of tomatoes. And we're just going to mix all that around. Now to that we're adding a teaspoon and a half of sugar and about 3/4 teaspoon of oregano. Give that a mix. It's got to come up to a simmer. Now one of the things was this is basil. A whole bunch of basil. I kind of stole it from my daughter. We're supposed to put the stems into the sauce. Okay, I didn't read down to the end of the recipe, so I just chopped them up fine and threw them in. Then I came to the end and realized I was supposed to take them out at the end. That's okay. Sometimes mistakes work out just fine. This is the case. I chopped them up, put them in a little bowl, ever so carefully. Well, okay, I'm not the neatest sometimes getting stuff into a container. But that should work, and we'll get that over to our sauce. It's a decent amount. So it's nice and bubbly now. We're going to put the basil in, and then it's going to simmer for about a half an hour till it thickens up. Like that. I've got out a bunch of basil. You can see how much there. That's a package, maybe a package and a half. Okay, it's done, so let's get it into a container. And then we've got eggplant to assemble. Clean up. And let's put our, so I've got a tinfoil baking dish. I love using these things only because it makes cleanup so much easier. And if you're going somewhere, it's even easier yet. Into the bottom goes some of our sauce. Keep in mind the eggplant that we put in the oven is done. And I've let it cool. You want to cool it for 10-15 minutes just so you can handle it. So here we go, a light thing of tomato sauce. And if I was going to do it again, because I did make stacks, you don't really need to cover the bottom. You could just make little dollops of it for each of your stacks. I knew I was making 8, so I just had to make eight little dollops. It would have worked out just fine. That's okay, it still worked. Let's build. Eggplant goes down first. Now we're going to throw some sauce on top. Oh yeah, pack it down a little bit and stay there. That looks pretty good. Next up comes some of our basil, not all of it. And then on top of that goes Parmesan, nice and shredded. And then now we're going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on all of these things. And if you thought that was it, you'd be wrong, because another layer of everything, a second layer of everything, and we're almost good to go. Oh wait, we need cheese. So we've got mozzarella, about a cup's worth, and we just throw it on the top. Now that looks really good. Into the oven it goes. 350 for about 25 minutes till nice and golden. So it looks something like that. Now if you want, and you got any left over, throw a little basil on top or parsley, whatever you'd like. Now look at that. Oh yeah, that actually looks good. They smell fantastic. And there you have it. There is an eggplant Parmesan stack. It was fun to make and tasted great. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.